We're with Shamika and Lee. Also joining us is the biological father of their children, as well as 100 more. And we are here to meet him. I'm very excited to have a conversation with him. Ari Nagel, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. So good to be here.
Okay. I want to just ask what I wonder if anyone else has the burning question, which is, why do you do this?
But, you know, I'm from a big family, so in some ways I wanted a big family, but, you know, you do it once and you see the mom is happy, you see the kid is happy, and then you do it again, and then it just ended up growing. And I was having around 2 or 3 kids a year, and then, I don't know, this year I'm on track to have 30. I had 25 kids this year so far. It's been very busy during the pandemic. Some people were like getting into baking, and, you know, and I was just expanding. Of course, I was traveling a lot.
Do you think that there is any, like, God complex in there?
No, that's a legitimate question, you know, because I have 100 children. And people were like, well, why do you need more kids, you know? But if you look at Lee and Shamika, they each have 1 child. So if I would have told them, sorry, Lee, I can't help you because I already have a lot of children and I don't need any more children, then they would probably say, yeah, but what about us? We want our 1 child. So don't focus on how many children I have. You would focus on the families that I'm helping grow.
Now, when you have your children, do you say, I'll be as involved as you want? What are the sort of prerequisites? Is there a contract? Like, how do you go into this?
It's always up to the moms. So there's some kids that I see all the time, and then there's many kids that I've never met. I was in Israel this past week, and I got together with 2 of my children there, but then the other mom didn't really want me to come visit, so that's okay, you know, and I try and play a role wherever I'm wanted or needed, and I think there's 100 different families, so each of them have a different idea of what role, and it's dynamic. It changes all the time, so sometimes maybe they don't want me to play a role, but then maybe the kid's 10 or 11 years old and starts asking questions, and then it transitions into something else.
Okay, now I just have to ask process. What is the process? Like, have there been actual intimate physical encounters the old-fashioned way?
It varied. So, you know, I have 100 kids, so there's lots of different ways to make a baby. The vast majority of them, I just put it into a cup, you know, and I gave it to them and they put it inside.
It is the soft cup handoff.
Exactly. And that works. It works the same as if we did it the old-fashioned way.
I mean, you've met people at, you know, different places whenever these windows arrive.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, how the heck are you juggling all of this? Like, I have 2 kids.
Yeah.
I am spread so thin. Like, how are you, like, legitimately being like, I'll be there to help you with your kids. I'll meet you there. Who is running your schedule? How are you doing this?
Yep. I don't have any unpaid interns, you know, working on my schedule, so it's challenging. And it's especially challenging because it's hard to plan. I don't know when they're going to be fertile, so you really don't know sometimes to the last minute. So, like, I have a woman ovulating tomorrow in Atlanta, and then on Saturday in Jacksonville, but I also have a baby being born on Tuesday, so I'm going to need to get back for that birth because I want to be there. She's a single mom, so I want to make sure I'm there for the delivery room. So I didn't buy my flight yet, but yeah, sometimes it's challenging, and then sometimes you have 2 women ovulating on the same day, and then you have to decide, well, who am I going to help, you know? So do you help the older woman who maybe is running out of time, or do you help the younger woman who maybe can try next month but has probably a much higher chance of conceiving?
Well, and that circles a little bit back to a God complex. Like, who do you choose in that scenario?
Yeah, well, ultimately, in the end, the good news is that they may ovulate every month. So you might say, listen, I'm not free this month, but let's try again. Or sometimes I'll just work up the effort and try twice in one day. But ideally, that's not the best case scenario.
What does the future hold for you? Do you have any plans? What is Ari doing?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, there are increased risks, I think, for the age of the male, even though physically I'm capable of continuing to have children until my old age. I think that some people link autism perhaps to the age of the male. So, no, I think my retirement's going to happen. You know, it's hard because, you know, I'm going to Jacksonville on Saturday for this woman who's ovulating, right? And we have a 3-year-old daughter, and she wants a sibling for her daughter. So what am I supposed to tell her, you know? It'd be hard. So it'll have to be some kind of phased retirement, where if it's a family family that I already helped and they want the same father for both their children, then that's something it'll be a little hard to say no, but maybe new couples maybe somehow do
But
that.
you're mindful that eventually medically things do change for a male and you're cognizant of every aspect.
Yes, and I think it's different if you're starting a family of your own, but if you're helping other women grow their families, then they could find someone younger. Of course, my son's 18, but he is not interested in taking over the family business. You know? Yeah.
Well, Ari, Shamika, and Lee, you guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Really and truly, and thanks everybody for hanging out and listening to this, and to everyone at home. This was really, really just, it's hard to put into words, but I'm very grateful to have this conversation.